Good Saturday morning. I just wanted to step in and we're going to put this together. We're going to have a lot of things to try to accomplish today. I'm going to reorganize and unclutter my hallway closet and break down and take the homeschool stuff down and put it with the craft area. I'm going to start purging my closet and what will be going into my drawers when the new furniture gets here, because it's just going to be a few days and I'm so excited. I wished I could paint this bedroom, but to be honest with you, I don't have a clue what color I would want to paint it. If you have any thoughts on that, by the way, comment. It'd be great if you had a color swatch, but I do want it. I do want it to have some glitter. You know, just like a gold or just a soft glitter. I don't want it to keep me awake at night, but I do want it to be warm and a soft color, because this is where I film right now, and we have to keep it soft. But anyway, I'm going to share as much of this as I can with you. There are some parts of it that I'm just not going to share with you because, like I told you in one of my first videos, I'm uncluttering. It's just been bad. And I so have way too much stuff. It's not an episode of hoarders, but if I don't do something, it could very well become one. So that's why I'm trying to get it under control. But anyway, wanted to talk to you. Remember yesterday when I started getting the puffy bags from my allergies? And you can just see there's just a little bit under there. I did my nightly, I drained my lymphatic system. I did the 2 facial massages that I do, and it just took all of that away. I have to do it here here in a little bit, and if I think about it, I'll record it and show you how I do it. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how to do it. That's how I learned how, because I deal with chronic pain, migraines and things of that nature. We've talked about that, and we will continue to talk about that because that's the purpose. That was the biggest reason why I began Sparkle. Sparkle is just simply being encouraging to each other and being real. There's going to be days, my watch alarm is going off. It'd be real cool if I knew where it was. Oh, my alarms are going off. Anyway, let's just put it this way. I know it's in this area or in these. I had it sitting on my desk, or not my desk, but my night table. And as you know, I have these things that have fur. And sometimes they think anything round. I have a bazillion ponytail holders that are gone. And they would all show up in the hallway or something like that all at one time because the cats have swiped them off of my nightstand or something like that. They've been known to fish them out of my purse. It's just insanity. It's not really insanity. It's just the joys of owning a cat or 2. And in my case, there's 5. There's 5 because I don't want 6. And I still am not sure how I ended up with 5. So we're going to leave that at that. But anyway, I got some fun things for the end of today. Those may wait till Monday. I'm not real sure if I'll get all of that done. I'm thinking that I may show you, I've shown you several of how I, get up and do my makeup and stuff like that. And I've shown you some of the facials that I do. I'll continue because there's more. I'm experimenting with different things, and I'm sharing it with you. So, and I'm telling you how it works for me and what the benefits of it are. And if you want to try it, feel free. You know, that's the whole point of me being here. If I find something or say something that can help you or encourage you, um, great. You know, that's what part of sharing my heart is, and part of what Sparkle is about is just, hey, you know, I may not know you personally, um, but I care about you. You know, I care about people that I pass on the street. Um, it just is what it is, and you know, I don't know if I really got into it yesterday because I don't think I had much time whenever I closed the mascara video out. But um, you know, I talked the other day, and I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm gonna add more to it, and we're already at 5 minutes. Um, but I may just make a part 1 and part 2. Um, but you know, I talked the other day about how easy it is for us to um, you know, somebody pulls out in front of us in traffic, um, somebody jumps turn at a four-way stop, something like that happens. Okay, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Um, I was not planning on going across town. Um, since this latest bout of anxiety has come about, um, I have anxiety attacks that just come out of nowhere. I mean, I am fine. I had chicken anxiety. I think I talked about that in one of my videos. I know I talked about it on Facebook. But chicken anxiety. I was in Kroger and was picking out chicken and just had anxiety over picking out chicken. I have bought, you know, I'm 49 years old. I bought chicken before. Not that hard. Anyway, back to yesterday. I was driving across town because I needed to go deposit the check that came in the mail into our account. Um, that was a check for us, was not a check for Les. I'll leave that there because Les is the gentleman that I am guardian of. Our funds are kept separately. Our funds will always be kept separately, and his funds are transparent. Anybody that needs to see them, I have the checkbook. Just throwing that out. I'm a little grumpy this morning. Anyway, not really. I've just realized that as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm very matter of fact. Um, it just is what it is. You know, it's like, okay, here. Um, but anyway, as I was driving across town, and I've done this a few times traveling on the interstate, and it's a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. Um, whenever I have a panic attack and I can't breathe for those, you know, I feel like I can't breathe. I can deal with that immediately. You know, I have worked so hard on breathing techniques and things of that nature. And for me, what works, because, you know, I played the flute, I played the piano, I grew up singing in church, all that stuff. So I know how to breathe. You know, I had the baby. Stop it. I still got the snap. I have the mom snap. Ask my daughter. Anyway, um, whenever I start feeling that tightness in my chest of an anxiety attack, I can deal with that because I know how to breathe. I can start breathing, you know, you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth. For me, it's, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That gives me a tempo. I either use that scripture or another one because it gives me a perfect rhythm to, you know, and I've been known to sing Jesus Loves Me or something like that during times whenever anxiety happens because it helps. Um, it doesn't have to be, it can be a song, any song that is comforting for me. I usually choose to sing songs like Jesus Loves Me and hymns that I know, or older or Christian songs that I know, because that's a source of comfort. Um, so it works for me. But anyway, um, the new symptoms, I guess is the best way that I know how to put it. Boy, my hair looks wild today. Um, haven't been sleeping in my bonnet. Whole different story. Anyway, uh, so what happens with these anxiety attacks now? The new symptom, I guess, is the best way to put it, is that I get so hot, and I have hot flashes. I know the difference between this and the anxiety. Okay, I've been having hot flashes for 9 years now. I didn't get to ease into menopause. I got shock menopause. I know. Anyway, but what will happen is that I just start getting just so hot. And, with a hot flash, you break out into this sweat or whatever. But this is not a hot flash. You know, it could be similar partially to this one. But at the same time that I'm getting hot, everything in my stomach becomes so nauseated. And so, and I feel like I'm going to faint. Um, and then then that triggers the breathing. And even whenever I start breathing, controlling my breathing, the nausea doesn't go away. The hot part of it doesn't go away. I was driving across town yesterday. I can't remember. It didn't get, it was probably maybe in the 40s. I'd have to check the weather. But I was driving across town with my window rolled down and my air full blast because I was so hot and I could not. That feeling just before you pass out, that feeling before you lose control, I guess is the best way of putting it. And I hate when it happens when I'm driving. Some of it is traffic related because as I've gotten older, heavier traffic seems to bother me. But I've noticed that it's not just heavy traffic, because it happened a few times whenever I was bringing my dad to Lexington and to Richmond for doctor's visits. Generally, if I can get an Altoid out of my purse, I carry peppermint ones and the cinnamon ones, but mostly the peppermint ones. Generally, if I can get a peppermint, that'll start to ease my stomach. But by the time that I get where I'm going, because I'm so afraid that I'm going to pass out, I'm like white knuckling the steering wheel. So anyway, that's what happened yesterday on the way to the VMF to go to the bank, and it was just I can't. The one doctor said, well, that's what an anxiety attack is that it comes out of the blue. And I'm like, dude, I've had anxiety attacks for a long time. I've been dealing with them. I had gotten them pretty much where they had diminished greatly. And then in the last year or two, these new things happen. But that's whenever I had to see the pain doctor psychiatrist that I don't have to go back and see. Thank you, God. Excuse me. But anyway, wanted to share that with you because I know I'm not the only person that has anxiety attacks. And again, part of Sparkle is to just sit down and sometimes just say, hey, this happened to me. This is what I did to deal with it. Does this happen to you? Because when you find out that whatever situation you have, that somebody else has, and you start sharing it, then it becomes easier to deal with, because it's not just you. Whenever you don't share problems and situations with people, then you start to feel like you're the only one. For years, I thought I was the only person that had been through some of the garbage that I've been through, that made the mistakes that I've made, that had people in the family that had situations that weren't pleasant. And when I came to Lexington and I started attending the church where my membership is now, um, after a while, one of the first people to actually greet me in that church was an elderly couple. And after the second time I went, she just she made it a point to get my phone number, to get my to get everything from me. Long story short, as time went on, and we, started to become kind of friends, um, I had no idea who they really were. I had no idea who my pastor was. I mean, I knew who my pastor was, but, he was my pastor. But I didn't understand and connect the dots because I didn't grow up in Lexington. And for me, I didn't deal with it. It wasn't, it just wasn't part of anything. I knew I had found a good place with some fantastic people, and it didn't matter to me what they did for a living, and it never had. When I'm in my church family, my friends, everything, it doesn't matter to me what you do, how much money you have. That's not, it doesn't matter to me if you even wear makeup or if you wear your pajamas all day. I prefer you not to wear them to Walmart, but, that doesn't, I'm friends with you because of who you are. Anyway, not what you are. Does that make sense? Um, not because of your profession, not because of, anything like that. I'm friends with you because of who you are. I see you as who you are inside. I don't, the external part doesn't, it doesn't, I recognize it because you have eyes, but that's not what I see. Anyway, um, back to where we were. Um, this lady kept contact with me, and she was basically the only one from the church that did. And I'm not, I'm not being derogatory. Okay, there's a point to this story. Um, she, she took an interest in me, and not long after that, when I hurt my back and I had to have my back surgery, she was the one that called. She's the one that came to the hospital when I had double pneumonia. A couple of other I think one or two other ladies from the church came. But whenever I had my back surgery, she checked in on me. She's like, can I bring you dinner? Do you need anything? Things like that. Anyway, I knew that she was a psychologist, I believe. I don't believe she's a psychiatrist. I believe she has a psychology degree. And I knew that she worked for a private facility here in Lexington. But, that's kind of all that we had really talked about. And I knew that her husband was the pastor's dad. I don't know where my voice is going. I guess it's leftover allergy garbage. But anyway, after I had my back surgery, and like I've told you, Google is my friend. But one night, I couldn't sleep. I have insomnia, and having back surgery didn't change the insomnia. But I was sitting there and just randomly, I've Googled socks, and for whatever reason, I Googled her husband's name. And I had Googled hers and then Googled his. And I Googled me. I've Googled myself. I've Googled my husband. I've Googled my daughter. I've Googled my dad. And just after so many hours of being awake. But anyway, whenever everything fell into place, and I realized, oh my gosh, these people that had taken an interest in me owned a bank. and a farm, and I mean, you know, just on down the line. And I was like, I would have never, and not saying that it's a, you know, that it changed my view of them. Um, my perception of uh, how people can be, wealth can cause people to feel like they're up here and you're down here, and that it can cause them to treat you that way. Um, so whenever I discovered, you know, wow, you know, they own a bank. It's their family bank. Uh, it just floored me. I was like, you know, these people, you know, I'm just an everyday person. You know, at the time, I don't think I was even working. And then I worked at Walmart. That was my last job. Um, but through all of it, this woman took such good interest in me. And we became good friends. And it's like, wow, you know, wow. So the point of that is that to be my friend, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, purple, orange, green. I don't care. And, you know, also because of how she took an interest in me, friended me, um, after I recovered from my back surgery, we were able to start a food ministry. And we kept, I don't know if it's still going on. I've not been able to be involved with my church as much as I was. But I had to she had to step back whenever her husband became ill and passed away. And then I had to step back whenever my dad got sick. But anyway, together, we were an awesome team. And, you know, I just had, I have people like her. Um, it's a matter of class and style, and it's something that I strive for, because style is not just fashion. Style is not just the latest thing that's trending. Style and class are something that you have. You know, it's a behavior, and you know, and that's where beauty comes from. Is from having class and from having style, and not trendy style, from having style, being comfortable with who you are, not being afraid. I'm not a girly girl. I'm sorry, I'm not a girly girl. Um, I love makeup, but I also like playing in the dirt. You know, up until I got hurt and until the doctor told me to quit breathing this stuff, it was no big deal for me to get my hands greasy. I could turn rotors better than any of my guys could when I worked at AutoZone. Mine would come out absolutely perfect. They would have me turn them just because it would mess with people. Because in that area, if you were pretty, you couldn't know anything about a vehicle. But anyway, the other thing that I wanted to point out, uppiesbeads59 is one of the most classy people that I have found on Facebook. One of the most beautiful people. I simply just adore watching her videos. she uses a lot of higher end products, and but she doesn't do it in a way of like, na 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 na, look what I can afford. No, she just sits down, and it's just like sitting down with a friend and having a cup of coffee. I even had left a comment on her page, and I mean it. I would love to just spend a few hours with her and just sit down and have coffee, because that's what I feel like I'm doing when I'm watching her videos is, I feel like the interaction, it's just like, okay, we're friends. It's like, and, she puts me in mind of somebody that, an, you know, that would be an aunt or a friend. And when I say aunt, please don't think that I'm saying that she's oh so much older than me, old enough to be my aunt, because that's not so true. Okay, I became an aunt when I was 12, maybe. So yeah. Um, but anyway, uh, my point is, when I'm talking about Miss Tammy, is her personality just shines through, um, and her passion is makeup, uh, and her passion is just sharing. And she doesn't just share makeup or manicures. She does some great tutorials, and I've learned so very much from her, and not just tips about makeup and hair and things of that nature. I've learned more about class, more about, uh, I'm not going to say that I want my videos to be identical to hers, because I don't. Um, I'm me. But I want the warmth that comes from her, the class that comes from her, the humor, the silliness. Um, like I said, you just feel like you're sitting right there with her, and that's what part of what I want in my videos. And this has kind of gotten a little rambly, and the video today, this is going to be a rambly, this is going to be a side video from everything else that's going to happen today. Um, but I just wanted to sit down and have a chat and talk about friends, talk a little bit about Sparkle, share my experience yesterday with the anxiety attack. Um, feel free to comment and let me know. I know I'm not the only one that has anxiety attacks. I hate having them, um, but I'm dealing with trying to resolve. I'm trying to stop them from happening, and by doing that, you have to find the root of the problem. So, um, and I don't mind being candid about stuff like that and being transparent about it, because I came here to share my heart. And if I can tell you something, if I can share part of my story and you may be where I've been, then I can help you get through it. Maybe something I say can guide you through it, or I can encourage you to keep going. Um, and that's something that I want to do. But I'm going to hop off of here, because otherwise we're going to have just this humongous video of just me just rambling on and on. And that's not what we are going to do today. But anyway, please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment. Again, my brain jumps from thing to thing to thing, and I don't mean to start a story and never finish it, but it's just how it works. So if there's something that I'm talking about and I skipped over whatever the point was, ask me. I'll come back and address it and fix it. But And if you have any questions for me, ask me. I am a pretty transparent person. There are some things that I won't, that I will simply tell you, it's not something I'm comfortable talking about. But for the most part, I'm an ask me type person. If I did it and I can remember it, I'll own up to it. If I don't remember doing it, I'll tell you. It's possible, but I don't remember. That's just how it goes. But anyway, remember, I am the mayor's daughter. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Don't forget to share your sparkle. I've said that how many times, and I get tongue-tied on it today. We will be doing a sparkle video a little later on this morning. It might not be a video, might just be posting pictures to my Facebook. I hopefully today I'll be able to get some of that linked together so that, I'm still learning how to do this. Hopefully it continues to improve. But anyway, I so appreciate you taking the time, especially if you're still here with me. I appreciate you listening to me talk this morning. But thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come into your life and to share my life with you. So, from the mayor's daughter, share your sparkle. Have a good day. See you. Bye.